Good morning, everyone. Lovely sunny, sparkly morning here in Lancaster. So we're going to start this practice lying on our backs. But we're going to start with our soles of our feet together, our knees wide apart. If you find this uncomfortable, then obviously bring your knees together. And the heels of your feet can be in towards the groin or a little bit further away as we're at the beginning of the practice. And we're just looking to soften across the pelvis. And then nuzzle your shoulder blades into the mat and see what it feels like to bring your arms out in cactus arms. Maybe even bring the tips of your thumbs and forefingers lightly together. And we're going to settle in this version of Supta Baddha Konasana this morning. As you lie here, feeling into the surface below, can you set your senses free to wander? Set your senses free to wander into the sounds, the flavors, the fragrances, the light and form of the morning. So that maybe you feel yourself fill with sound, for example, without striving to look for it. It just comes to you. I can hear church bells, bird song, a train, seagulls. I'm beginning to notice sensations in the body. The contact between the body and the surface beneath you. But then coming into a sense of your feet together. I hope maybe you have bare feet, so you can really feel the soles of your feet touch. The back of your head against the mat. Your shoulder blades fanning out across the inside of your rib cage against the mat here. I mean the outside of your rib cage. In the back of your pelvis. And then noticing sensations in the front of the body. How is the skin of your face this morning? How soft are your wrists and the palms of your hands? Your collarbones and chest and belly. And the front of your pelvis. Oh, noticing how soft you can become in your belly and the front of your pelvis, and then coming into your inner thighs. And back to the soles of your feet touching. I'm going to leave you for a few moments to relish the restfulness of this position, choosing if you want to an intention for your practice. What is it that you need right now? Alternatively, or the same, what is it that you would like to give to the world right now? Noticing the stream of a natural breath. We're not going anywhere with this breath, simply noticing the body breathing itself. As you continue to let go with the force of gravity. Breathing with the morning. Just a few more moments to settle, to really come into yourself completely. And the next time you breathe in, taking a deeper breath in, really expanding the abdomen. And then opening your mouth and sighing out the exhalation. Let's take 2 more. And returning to a natural breath. And floating your arms up so that they come to gently bring your knees in, soles of your feet together, on the floor, excuse me. And take a moment just to notice how the pelvis, the back of the pelvis and the hips feel so different when the soles of your feet are on the floor. And then slide your feet away. So your legs are completely extended and your arms are simply down on the floor beside you. There's going to be no hurry in this practice today at all. It will build up, it'll build up. But the invitation today is to take it light, not to throw yourself mechanically, forcefully into anything, but to listen very carefully to your body, to what you need. Anyone who was here last night for the restorative class may have woken up feeling quite gentle. I had the best sleep I've had in a long time. And we're going to come to one of my favourite things now, the fascia wiggle that I've nicked from Feldenkrais, basically. So if you'd like to press the heels of your feet a little bit more forcefully into the mat, so you feel like you're already denting the heels into the mat, and you just feel a looseness in the rest of the body. And then you begin to flutter your toes forwards and back. So it's not like if you look at me now, it's not like you're pointing your toes and pulling them and pointing them. It's literally rocking over your heels. And if you are still looking at me, you might see that the whole of my body is jiggling a little bit on the mat. And this works best if you don't try at all. You just simply dig your heels in and flutter and rock and allow the ripple of energy, the ripple of movement, to rise up the whole body, all the way to the back of your head where you can feel it rubbing on the mat. So having a little bit of a jiggle for the connective tissue of our whole body. We're hydrating. We might be undoing little stress knots in our fascia and our connective tissue. And it may be that you begin to feel a little bit of an ache in your calf muscles. If you need to stop, stop. Otherwise, just keep going, having a little wobble, a little wiggle for a little while longer. Almost feeling the features of your face, your skin, detaching from your skull. I know that sounds awful, but maybe you know what I mean if you're feeling it. It's almost like a snake wriggling out of it, an old skin, to reveal a freshness, a newness, a suppleness of the new skin. Keep breathing and jiggling. And then let go, allow your feet to drop out. And simply observe whatever it is that might be arising for you right now. And breathe into a soft belly, into the lower ribs, super soft. Maybe think of a word to describe what you're experiencing now and send it to me later, if you remember. I don't really want to do anything else except just this. But you might be a bit unhappy with me, so we'll move on. So we're going to come back into our Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, but this time have your hands down beside you and begin to press the outer edges of your feet a little bit into the mat. We're going to come into a sunflower pose, moving with the breath. So let's take it very slow, and you can lift as little or as much as you like, depending on how you're feeling this morning. So with the breath in, you float your arms up, but you lift your hips off the mat, really pressing the feet down. And pause a moment when you're up here, maybe noticing that you rock a little from side to side. And then breathing out, float your arms back down again. Feel your pelvis floating, and bone by bone, your spine comes down until the back of your pelvis nestles into the floor. And I'm going to ask you to do 4 more in your own time. But on the last one, we're going to stay up, if you like. Stay very steady and attentive to the breath. Noticing how this movement actually helps you take a fuller breath. I've lost count, so I'm going to do 2 more. So this is going to be my last one, and I'm going to stay up with maybe a little bit more of a push into the feet and a lift of the pelvis, the side waist. And breathe fully and feel the strength that's needed here, the strength of your inner thighs, but also the strength of your abdominal core. Can you take 3 more breaths? Try not to clench too much in your buttocks. 1 more full breath in, and then coming down slowly, bone by bone, arms floating down beside you. And take a full breath in and out to soften here completely. And then from here, again bringing the soles of your feet to the floor. This time walking your feet out so that they're mat distance apart and your knees touch in the middle. And take a moment here to allow your hips to rotate internally a little bit. And taking your arms out in a T shape, take a breath in and feel from one set of fingertips to the other. And as you breathe out, wrap your right arm over the left for a little bit of a hug. Maybe you can feel your shoulder blades on the back. And then breathe in, open your arms out again. And this time breathe out, and you can stay with the right arm over the left in a hug, or you might like to come into Garudasana arms a bit early in the practice. So be soft about this, and this is just a way to feel into the shoulder girdle, and I'm making little circles with my elbows. You don't have to have your palms together. I'm holding on to my right thumb with my left hand and then circling. I'm just enjoying a little bit of a wake up of all of the bones and tissues around the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the back of the ribs on the floor. And then reversing the direction of the circles. Breathing. And then coming to a still point and taking a breath in. And on your breath out, maybe take your hands behind your head. Only if that's right for you. So you're feeling gently into what your body needs this morning. There's no need to do anything you don't want to do. And take a full breath in as you come to the front, again with your elbows and hands, and then release your arms back out in a T shape, taking a moment to simply observe. And breathe. And then take another full breath in, energizing through to your fingertips. And exhale, bring your left arm over the right for a hug. Maybe reaching for your shoulder blades, hugging yourself. And then breathe in, slide open again. And breathe out, maybe give yourself a hug, and maybe stay here, left arm over the right, or come into your eagle arms, your Garudasana arms. I'm holding onto my left thumb with my right hand. Feeling into how Garudasana feels on this side, and beginning to draw little circles with the elbows in one direction. Maybe making the circles a little bit bigger as you explore sensations in the mid to upper back, the shoulder blades, the ribs. And then reversing the direction of your elbows, feeling in. Slow, soulful practice that will pick up a bit of heat if you want it to as we progress. Taking a breath in a still point here, and then if it feels good for you, easing your hands behind your head. Take a breath here, breathing out, and then gently lifting your elbows up. Breathe in, and then slide your arms down by your sides. Bring your feet underneath your knees now and slide your feet away to feel the whole body. To feel the whole body. It's maybe a slightly different connection now through the upper body and the mat. Take a full breath in, and on the exhale, and another full breath in. Full breath in. And then lifting your knees in towards you. And taking your arms out in a T shape, and we're going to twist, but we're going to make this a core twist to fire up our abdominal muscles this morning. So this means that your knees, when they come over to the side, are not going to touch the floor. So arms are out in a T shape. Take a breath in, squeezing your knees a little bit in towards you. And as you breathe out, take your knees to the left, your eyes to the right, and hover a moment, holding here, noticing which part of the bodies are working. And then breathe in, come up to the top, your head to neutral. And breathe out, knees to the right, hovering off the floor as you're looking over your left hand. Notice which parts of the body are working. And we'll keep going, warming up our abdominal core. You find your own rhythm. Hover for as long as you like. And you can draw your knees up towards your armpits. You can move them away whilst in the twist. See what that feels like. All I would ask is that you do the same on each side of the body. And breathing fully. Breathing fully. So next time you come over to the left with your knees, now drop them down. And you have a choice here of having a twist with your knees bent. Maybe take your left hand onto the knees as you release a little bit into the right shoulder, eyes towards the right. Or you might like to straighten your legs now. Just depends on you. If you want a slightly stronger pose here, you push through the heels of your feet. Draw this right hip bone a little bit down the mat. And take 5 deep breaths in this twist. It's absolutely fine if you haven't straightened your legs. Make it about the breath. Releasing in the jaw, behind the eyes. Beautiful. Bring your head back to neutral. If your legs are straight, can you lift them straight up to the top? If your knees are bent, bring your knees up to the top and then straighten your legs. Arms up above the head. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to lift your head as you bring your arms to look in between your legs. And we'll hold here for 3 more breaths. Hold here for 3 more breaths, drawing the sideways, the navel down towards the spine, not straining your neck. 1 more breath in. And as you breathe out, take your head back, arms behind you. Take a breath in here. And then breathe out. Bend your knees again and take your arms out in a T shape. Take your arms out in a T shape. And we go the other way. So breathing in. And as you breathe out, you're going to rock your knees down to the right. Maybe taking your right hand over the top knee as you look over to the left. Or, if you fancy, straightening your legs. Holding onto your feet if that's available. But still settling down to that left shoulder blade and looking to the left. And encouraging your left hip bone down the mat to see how this creates space in the pelvis and a little bit more space for the spinal twist as well. And then come to your breath and soften collarbones, the throat, everything around the skull and the face. Breathe. Really pushing through the heels if your legs are straight. Wonderful. One more breath in and a long breath out. Bring your head to neutral. If your legs are straight, lift your legs one at a time. If your knees are bent, lift your knees one at a time, and we meet with our arms over the head again. So what I really want you to do here is press your lower back and your side waist down towards the mat. Take a breath in and then breathe out. Look in between your legs with your arms by your sides. And we take 3 more breaths. Drawing the abdominal muscles down towards the spine. Nothing too strong, nothing too strong. Trying to release in the throat. One more breath in. And then breathe out, arms over your head. Take a breath in here. And then bend your knees. Bring your hands to your knees and have a little bit of a rock around. Until you're ready to join me over on all fours. Maybe cushioning your knees if you need to. Spreading your fingers, wrists underneath the shoulders. And on an inhale, lifting your right leg up behind you, pushing through the heel. Actually, I'll do it this way. And as you exhale, bring your knee round to your armpit. And as you breathe in, take your leg behind you. And as you breathe out, sweep the right leg to the left. Look over your left shoulder, but then bend the left knee and inhale. And exhale, push back into a version of cow face legs. Take a breath in and out here, feeling into the hips. And then breathe in, immediately come to all fours, lift the right leg. Breathe out. This time you could either bend the knee or come with a straight leg if that feels okay to you. Breathe in, lift the leg out behind you. Breathe out, sweep the leg to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Take a breath in. Breathe out, bend the knee and push back. Make it just soft and juicy, nothing too strenuous here. Breathing in, come back to all fours, right leg is lifted. Breathing out, knee to armpit, all legs straight. And here we'll go dip the leg up and down, or the knee up and down 2 or 3 times. This is wonderful for strengthening all the little muscles around the hips. We do so much to open the hips, but we strengthen. Breathing in, leg out behind you. Breathe out, sweep the leg to the left. Take a breath in and out here as you enjoy a little stretch. Take a breath in, drop the left knee, breathe out back to this funny combination of child and Gomukhasana. And take a breath in and out here. Really lovely. And then breathing in, lift your leg out behind you. And breathing out, drop the foot and bring the knee down. Really lovely. Pressing into your left hand, breathe in and twist open to the right. And breathe out, thread the arm through to come on the right shoulder. And we're going to keep moving. Breathing in, gently twist open. Don't go your full capacity here. Just feel into the body and breathe out, come down. Last time, breathe in. And stay here, breathe out. And coming up onto your left fingertips to give you more range for movement as you explore this little twist to the right. Take a breath in as if you're reaching your hand up for the sun. And then breathe out. Come down again, threading the arm through to stay this time. If you need a blanket or something to rest your head and shoulder in, that's absolutely fine. And lifting your left arm up, lift it up towards the ceiling. Turn the thumb away and sweep it over your lower back. Maybe reaching for the top of the right thigh. And just encouraging that left shoulder to roll around and back. The shoulder blade is carving a little bit into the spine. Now you can stay here, or you could slide your left leg away, toes are curled. So that left leg is quite energized and you're rolling over a little bit onto the back of your head. This will give you more of a spin of the chest. And again, you can stay here, or press the right foot down a little to stabilize you as you lift the left leg up. Not for everybody. Don't stop breathing. There will be a wobble. One more breath in, and then breathe out. Bring the left knee down under the hip, the left hand by the face, and pressing into that left hand, breathe in, and we spin open one more time, and breathe out here. Take a breath in and out, and then slide your right knee forwards in between your hands. Take the foot around the left and sit back into Gomukhasana legs. If you are unable to feel both of your sitting bones now, I'd like you to take your left leg and extend it so you have half version. If you'd like to prop yourself up on something, that's also okay. But taking a moment to, after all of that movement, to really settle down into the lower body. Feel it. It's almost like a pouring of energy down through the hips, through the sitting bones, the thighs into the floor. Take a full breath in and out. Well, it feels really nice, doesn't it? So you might want to stay here just as you are. You might want to rock forwards. Or if you like a little bit of upper body work, we'll take our eagle arms again. We've already done this on the back. So take a breath in and enliven all the way through to your fingertips. And then breathe out, cross the left arm over the right. And come into your version of eagle. Now, it's also okay to keep your left arm extended and use the right elbow to draw the left arm across the body. And then you can wriggle around a little bit here, not losing that connection down through the lower body. And breathe and lift your shoulders up to your ears and then consciously slide them away. It's like a little bit of a shimmy, shoulder blades down the spine. Then you can lift your hands and elbows up and away from the face. Now stop talking so you have a chance to find your own stillness here. Your own breath. How soft can you become in your face? And you're absolutely welcome to stay here or to come forwards. So all of our bodies are completely different here. See what works for you. I can't get my elbows to the floor, but you might be able to. And there might be an intensity of sensation here, a little bit of a firing up into the right buttock and hip. Can you stay with that and take 2 or 3 fuller breaths, maybe sighing if you want to on the exhale. And then on the next inhale, lifting up and opening out your arms. And exhale, hands down. And can you come all the way over will find your way into a downward dog. So we haven't taken a downward dog yet. And walk it out, take a few breaths here to find your way. Really lengthening the side body here. Maybe moving your hips, your bottom from side to side. Make it yours. This is a few breaths to just come into deliciousness, into a sense of the whole body breathing. And then on an inhalation, lift your heels, lift your navel towards the spine and ripple forwards to a plank. So your shoulders are above your elbows. And take a couple of breaths here, lifting the side waist, lifting the navel, pushing up in between your shoulder blades as if you're being lifted to the ceiling. Take another breath in. And then you choose how you come down. I'm going to drop my knees, but you might fancy coming down straight as a stick. And we're going to meet lying on our bellies, arms down by our sides, palms facing down. Take a full breath in and out. And then lifting your arms off the floor, interlace them behind your back. So again, you need to roll the shoulders up first to draw them back and then slide the hands past the tailbone. And we're not going to lift our legs here. I want you to really press the big toenails into the floor, your pubic bone into the floor, and then breathe in. Use your arms to lift you and breathe out here. So you won't come up high. This is snake pose. We are renewing our skins. Saturday refresh. Can you take 2 more breaths? Really working the muscles around the shoulder blades. Keep pushing into the big toenails. 1 more breath in. Really lift your heart to your throat and then breathe out, come down. And release your arms down by your sides, palms are facing up. And take a full breath in and out to feel the residue of that snake pose. Hands are now by your ribs. Push yourself to all fours and then back to a downward dog. And take 3 of the fullest breaths you've yet taken to explore all sensation in the body as the body breathes you. Really relaxed in the head, the neck. Really widening in the hips and the sitting bones. 1 more breath in. And then as you breathe out, drop your knees. And on an inhale, lift the left leg up behind you. And as you breathe out, knee to armpit. And as you breathe in, extend it behind you. And then look over your right shoulder as you take your foot to the right, pushing through that heel. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knee and push back into that funny little Gomukhasana child. Take a breath in and out here. And then inhale to all fours, lift the left leg. You have a choice of knee to armpit or straight leg. Inhale, lift the leg out behind you. Exhale, sweep it to the right. Take an inhale here as you look over the shoulder. Exhale, drop the knee and push back and breathe in and out here. Where do you feel this pose? Last time, breathing in, lift up the left leg. Decide if the leg is straight or the knee is bent. Take 3 little pulses here. Try not to buckle in that right elbow. And then sweep the leg out behind you. Breathing out, foot to the right. Take a breath in as you look over your right shoulder. Breathe out, drop the knee and back into your cow-faced child's pose. Take a breath in and out here. And then breathing in, lifting. Left leg lifts again. And exhale, bring the knee down under the hip. And firm up a little bit in your right hand and arm here as we now twist to the left. Breathe in. And breathe out, thread through. Left shoulder down, head down. And then breathe in, twist yourself open. And breathe out, thread through. And breathing in, lifting. Breathe out here, come up on your right fingertips and see if you can spin a little, expand a little bit more to the left. One more breath in. And now we thread through to stay. Settling down into your left shoulder. Lifting up your right arm as you look over the right shoulder, turning the thumb away and reaching over your lower back, maybe to hold onto the top of your left thigh. So this might be enough. This is already quite a lot for the right shoulder. You might already be finding it a bit wobbly. Or you push the right leg away, curling the toes under. Maybe roll a little bit over onto the back of your head as you keep peeling that right shoulder back. Breathe. This might be enough. Or you might like to really stabilize down through that left foot. Press the top of the foot into the floor as you lift the right leg up. Pushing through the heel, lifting from the inner thigh. There's a lot going on here. Are you breathing? One more breath in. And then gently bring the right knee back under the hip. Right hand by the face. And breathing in. Peel open to that little twist to the left. And breathe out, bring your hand down. And bring your left knee forwards, sliding it over the right knee to come into your Gomukhasana, cow face legs. If this is just not happening, and particularly for men, this is really difficult because of tighter hips or more narrow hips, you extend the lower leg, the right leg, and come into half version. And let's take a couple of minutes here to, I don't know if you share this with me, but I just love coming into this pose, just to feel it's like I've arrived home. I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but it's just such a grounding, a sense of well-being in this pose for me, but I'm not suggesting that we're all the same. And you might like to stay here just like this, feeling down through the lower body. Or you might like to come forwards to accentuate a richness of sensation here on the left. Or you might like to join me with your eagle arms, expanding and energizing through the fingertips. Breathe in. And then wrapping the right arm over the left. Remembering you can take the half version if you need to, with the right arm extended, or wrapping your arms around. And then rolling the shoulders up to the ears and back again to slide the shoulder blades down the spine, having a little bit of a wriggle. And then come to a quiet moment or two. Releasing in the jaw, softening in the roof of your mouth. And you can stay here, or you might like to come down with your arms in front of you, reaching out with the hands. Noticing where you feel this pose. Breathe. Wonderful. And then breathing and coming up. Breathe out here and take another breath in, and then release your arms. Find your downward dog your way. And find space in your downward dog as you unravel your arms and your legs. Feel the wholeness of your skin, the wholeness of your body, and breathe. On the next breath in, lift your heels and ripple, sucking the front body into the back body as you come into your plank. Bring your right hand underneath your face and come over onto the sides of your right side of your foot. You can bring the left foot in front of you if you need to, and then open out into half side plank. Take a breath in, take a breath out, take a breath in. Come back to full plank. Roll over onto the left foot, bringing the right foot halfway up the mat, unless you want a full side plank. And then breathe and reach up as you push down. Lift the side tips, lift the side waist, breathe in. And then find your plank. Take a breath in your plank and choose your way down to the mat. You can drop your knees, of course. And coming back to your arms by your body, palms facing down. Or up, actually, it's fine. So you can really relax and release in the shoulders. We're going to come back again to our snake pose. So interlacing your hands behind your back. Rolling the shoulders up and back as you then draw the shoulder blades down and the hands down past the tailbone. Press your big toenails into the floor. And then lift on an inhale. And we'll take 4 more breaths here. It's absolutely fine to wriggle around a little bit. Keep pressing the big toenails into the mat. Keep smiling the collarbones and lifting your heart into your throat. 1 more breath in, and then breathe out, release. Releasing your hands, releasing your shoulders, and taking a full breath in and out. Hands by your ribs. Inhale to all fours. Exhale to downward dog. And looking in between your hands now, step or walk or jump your feet forwards to come to a flat back. Inhale, lovely long spine. Exhale, fold, navel to the spine. And pressing through your feet, inhale, come all the way up. Really reach, lengthen the side body, and exhale, hands down to your heart space. And take a moment to feel the body here. All parts of the body, and aliveness perhaps, as well as a stability. And maybe returning to your intention if you set one, what you really need or what you would like to be able to give to the world today. I think that's what I said. And then breathing and reach up. Maybe take your pelvis forwards a little bit for a little bit of a back bend. Straighten and breathe out, pour yourself all the way down. Release the fingers to the floor or to the shins and breathe in flat back. And breathing out, take your left foot behind you, and bring the knee down. Release the foot, pressing down through the right foot, and then breathing and lift up. And breathe out here. Take a couple of breaths as you take the left thigh, hip bone forwards a little, but your abdomen is strong. You're long in the sideways. Take a breath in as you straighten, and then breathe out. Take your left hand down to the floor, your right hand to your knee. And then breathe in, take another twist to the right, and breathe out here. Take another breath in, and then breathe out. Take your right hand down inside the right foot. Press the shoulder against the knee, and breathe in, twist to the left. And breathe out here. Take another breath in, and then breathe out, both hands come down. Breathing in, lift both arms up. Palms are together now as you twist over to the right. Take the outside of your left elbow outside the right knee, palms together. And then pushing the heels of your hands together, look over your right shoulder. And every breath in, you lengthen your spine. And every breath out, you find maybe a little bit more of a twist. Your internal organs are part of this. Beautiful. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, drop both hands inside the right foot again. And we're going to walk our way around now to the long end of the mat for Skandasana. So bending into the left knee, right toes can reach up. And just take a little bit of time to feel into the groin, the inside of the thighs. You melt down towards the floor. And then come over to the right and do the same thing. Left toes reaching up. It's all right if your right heel is lifting. And we're going to mix things up a bit today. We're going to come to the back of the mat and come into a plank pose. Take a breath in your plank and then choose your way down to the mat. Inhale, peel yourself up into a little cobra, slide the chest up, shoulders back. Exhale, downward dog. Wonderful. And then looking in between your hands, step your right foot forwards again. So in the same, it's the left leg is behind you, left knee down, and then breathe in, lift up. And breathe out here. Take another breath in. And then immediately come to that little twist to the right. Left hand is down, right hand lifts up. Take a breath in. And then breathe out. Take the right hand down and breathe in, twist to the left. Breathe out here. Take another breath in. Breathe out, left hand comes down. And then lift both arms up again. Inhale, palms together. And find that little twist to the right. Heels of your hands together. So you're really pressing the top of the arm and the outer knee in towards each other. Every breath in, you lengthen. Every breath out, you look over that right shoulder. Taking a breath in and out. One more breath in. Then look down, breathe out. Bring both hands inside the right foot again. And we come back around to the long end of the mat, towards the left knee, drawing the right toes towards you. You could now lift your arms up if that's right for you. Don't have to, just feel what's going on for you. And then slowly come over to bend the right knee, pull the left toes towards you. And breathe fully, so it's long in the side waist as well as dropping in the groin and the inner leg. And then come back to the front of the mat. Lift up the right heel and step gently forwards to a flat back. And inhale here and exhale, fold. Bring your palms together. And inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. And take a moment here now to feel the body. Notice the quality of your breath if it's become a little bit more turbulent. Feel the floor beneath your feet. And then breathe and lift up your arms. Really lengthening, maybe a little bit of a back bend. Straighten and exhale, pour yourself down. Breathing into a flat back. And breathe out, step the right foot behind you. Bring the knee down. Now you have a choice. We're going to repeat that sequence, but you could, if you wanted it stronger, lift the back knee off the floor. I don't know if I'm going to or not. Listen to your body. Breathing and lift up the arms. And breathe out here. Take a breath in. And then come to your twist. Right hand comes down. Lift up the left arm. Take a breath in here. And then change hands. Left hand comes down. Inhale, twist to the right, pressing the shoulder against the knee. Exhale here. Take another inhale. Exhale, hand comes down. So remember your back knee can be down. There's absolutely no crime in that. And lift up both arms again. Inhale. Twist over to the left. Pressing the heels of your hands together. And just finding your way here. Feeling the whole body and how you can wriggle into more space. Inhale. Exhale. Take another breath in. And then breathe out, look down, place both hands inside that foot. And we come all the way around to the long end of the mat for our Skandasana, coming over to the right. Maybe palms to your heart, maybe arms up. Moving over to the left. Left heel can be up or down, right toes towards you. And then moving slowly to the back of your mat. Drawing that front foot back to a plank. Inhale. Choose your way down to the mat. Exhale. Inhale into a little cobra or upward dog. And then find your downward dog. Take a breath in and out here. Noticing the quality of your breath. Noticing if you're compromising the breath for the pose. Looking forwards and stepping your left foot forwards. Bringing the right knee down or not. And sweeping your arms up. Inhale here. Exhale. Take another breath in and then take your right hand down and twist to the left. Inhale here. Bring your left hand down. Exhale. Inhale, twist to the right. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lift your arms up. And palms together as you come around and you twist to the left. Use your internal organs to bring you round more. Pressing into the heels of your hands. If your back leg is long, push the heel away. One more breath in. Breathe out, look down. Drop both hands down inside the left foot. Bring your way around to the long end of the mat. Skandasana to the right. Breathe here and bring your Skandasana over to the left. Come back towards the front of your mat. And then slide the front foot back to a downward dog. And place your hands and your feet mat distance apart. So you can take a wider stance here. And breathe deep as you lengthen the side body, hips to the armpits. You widen your sitting bones and your hips. And you find the steadiness of your breath. Take one more breath in. And then drop your knees down so they're wide apart. Bring your toes together and have a little rest in an extended child's pose, knees apart. If your head is nowhere near the floor, bring your hands underneath your head. Otherwise, release. I've got my palms facing up. I'm settling into my forehead. And using this as an opportunity to consolidate. to remember why we're practicing. Breathe. Breathe and let go. Do whatever you need to do, any wriggle to come into a more comfortable position as we stay a while. And allowing anything that arises for you to be set free, to just be here. However negative or positive, just allowing everything to be here just as it is. It could be self-judgment, it could be worrying about what's happening next in the day or tomorrow. You might be worrying about the state of the world. It's all okay just to let it free to be here. As you drop into the breath and every cell, every molecule of sensation. And then from here, I'm going to come back to the downward dog simply to transition. Simply to transition. Just nice and light. Hope you're feeling a spaciousness in the body and quite warm. And then look in between your feet, hands now, and step or jump your feet forwards. Just coming into a forward fold, nice and light, and rolling yourself up. Rolling yourself up. Feeling the body just for a moment here. So we'll meet standing at the front of the mat. I'd like you to take a nice big stride, step with your left foot. With the left foot in 45 degrees and the right heel in line with the instep. And then bending into that front knee. Torso is vertical and floating the arms up. So sometimes after quite a warming flow like we just did, it's quite beautiful to drop into these classical poses and see what we find here. So you're energizing through to your fingertips. You can turn the palms up, roll them around just to play in the wrists, also to loosen up the shoulders a bit. You can lift your toes, you can move in and out. I want you to find your experience of the pose and breathe. Just to say, if you're newish to this practice, the right knee needs to be pulling out to the right and not dropping into the middle because you'll strain the tissues around the knee. And then from here, from this lightness of Virabhadrasana 2, turn the right palm up and float back into reverse warrior. I'm straightening my front leg to then bend in again. And today I fancy looking down behind me at the left heel, but you could look up underneath your armpit if you want. And again, just breathe and feel the lightness of this pose. And smile. And with a slight bounding off the floor, lift yourself back up, straight legs, arms straight. Find your warrior 2 again. Take a breath in and then breathe out, elbow to the knee, left arm over for side angle pose. Now side angle pose has so many variations. If this feels enough for you, this is excellent, stay here. But you can always take the right hand down to outside or inside the foot, just depending what works for you. Keep spinning a little bit to the left. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look down. And again, a lightness as you lift back up to warrior 2. Inhale here and exhale. You're looking over your front fingertips. I'm just looking at the camera. Turn your right palm over and again come back into your reverse warrior. And just make it so good. It's not about what it looks like, it's about what it feels like right now. And then lifting your arms out to, bringing your arms out to parallel. And just for fun, I'm needing to move because of the plants, don't you move. Bring your left hand to your hip, your right hand to your knee. Lift the back heel and place your right hand down in front of you. It doesn't matter how far you come into this pose, but we'll just bounce up that back leg, lifting it from the inner thigh. Peeling open that left hip if that's right for you, maybe lifting up the left arm. And from your navel, breathe in and out and radiate out in all directions. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look down. Take both hands down to the floor, drop the left hip, and inhale. Exhale, find your downward dog. And you have a choice. You could drop down into child, you could stay in downward dog, or you might like a vinyasa with me, breathing in, come forwards to plank. Choose your way down to the mat, breathe out. Breathe in, peel your chest up. And breathe out, find your downward dog or your child's pose for 5 breaths, everybody. If you're in child's pose, coming to a downward dog, and we're all going to meet standing at the front of the mat. So stepping forwards, maybe coming to a flat back and then folding and then lifting up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment to feel the body. And take a big step now with the right foot. Left heel in towards the instep of the right foot about 45 degrees. Find your warrior 2. Remember, you can play around with the hands and the wrists, you can lift the toes. All I would say is that the bending is in this left hip, your spine is not coming over, it's vertical for warrior 2. Left knee out to the side. Now find your pose and breathe. Smile, feel it. Lift up the left hand. Bring yourself into reverse. Straighten that left leg if you like first. And then ease your way, looking down the right leg if that feels right for you. Breathe it. And then with a slight bounce through the feet, lift back up to warrior 2. Take a breath in and out, and then find your side angle pose. Elbow to the knee. Remember, you can take the hand down, inside, outside, or keep the elbow to the knee as you spin your chest to the right. And you breathe. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look down, and we lift back up to warrior 2. Breathing, and then we turn the left palm up and we come back into our reverse warrior, just to feel. And then from there we come back to our arms straight warrior 2. Bring the left hand to the hip. As you lift, right hand to the hip, excuse me, as you lift the right heel. And lightly take that left hand forwards as you spring the right leg up. Don't make it too rigid or too ambitious. Just feel the opening and the spaciousness in the body. Maybe you lift your right arm up, maybe you look down or up, but you do push through the heel of the lifted leg. Lift from the inner thigh. One more breath in. And then drop the right hand down, drop the right hip. Lift the leg a little, breathe in. And float the foot back. Find your downward dog. And it's Yogi's Yogini's choice again. You stay in downward dog, you rest in child, or you ripple forwards to plank, coming down to the mat your way, peeling up. And then let's all again rest a few breaths in child. Rest a few breaths in child. Coming to your breath. And finding your own way, you could do it via a downward dog or not, but I'm just going to stand up. Finding your own way to standing. Finding your own way to standing. Noticing how you feel now, maybe open, warm, quite strong and spacious in the whole body. We've just got one last little challenge. And again, the invitation throughout this whole practice is to be as light as you like. I just want to bring a little bit of a balance challenge in. So at the front of your mat, lift your arms up and inhale. Make sure that your feet are parallel, about hip distance apart. And exhale, sit back in your chair. So you should be able to see your toes, tailbone under. Take a breath in here, and then palms together, very much like we've already done. Twist around to the right. So you could look down, just to stabilize, to find the length in your spine, and then look over the right shoulder. And breathe here. Breathe here. Either looking down or up, finding the strength, the twist. And then keeping the strength, come into neutral Utkatasana. Take a breath in, and then you're going to twist to the other side. Find your way, long spine, internal organs working to the left. Make sure your knees don't knock, your thighs are parallel. Maybe you look over the left shoulder, maybe down. Breathe. One more breath in. Breathe out, look down. And on a breath in, come to just one moment of neutral Utkatasana. Great for your quadriceps. One more breath in. And then breathe out, come up. So that wasn't the balance, that was a preparation for the balance. So we're going to take a one-legged twisted chair. And those of you who know me know that I'm really rubbish at this. I'm going to bring, first of all, really root down through the right leg, right foot. You're bending the knee. And bring the left ankle over and flex the foot. Palms to your heart. And you can sit back into that chair if you want. It's like a little pigeon. You can come forwards if you want. Some people might like to take this into crow. Definitely not going to teach that now. Finding the balance here. Draw the sideways back. Lifting up. Take an inhale and release. So that didn't have the twist either. We're building towards it. Let's take that to the other side. Right ankle over the left knee. So what you want here, and I hope we develop this in the practice, is really wide hips. Almost pull your sitting bones apart. As you sit back, flexing the right toes towards the knee, coming down as far as you can. Breathing here. Breathing here. One more breath in, and then gently push out. Take a moment to feel the body. You could repeat exactly what we've just done, or you bring in a twist, which is the bit that I will fall out of. I'm never sure with the sequences where I fall out if I should put them on YouTube. I am not completely vain, but I'm a little bit vain, so let's see how we get on. There's definitely one sequence I decided not to put on because I was falling all over the place and the screen was falling over me and I don't know what. Let's just see how we go. Bringing the left ankle over the right knee, palms together as we sit back, and maybe you can bring your right elbow to outside the left knee as you sit back in your chair. And you keep sitting back. I'm looking ahead. I think it's very hard on this to look over to the left. But keep twisting, keep drawing your belly and your chest around to the left as you press the hands together. One more breath in. Gently come back the way you came. How did you get on? It's hot work. It's just for fun. None of this really matters, does it? And let's come to, how did we do this? Yeah, right ankle over the left knee. Flexing the foot as you sit back in your chair, and you can stay here. Or bring the left elbow over to the right knee, pressing as you sit back and you breathe. Breathe. One more breath in. And then gently, elegantly come back the way you came. So lovely. And then turning around to face the long end of your mat. Feet really wide apart now, toes are in. Taking your arms out wide, thumbs down, interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders up. Inhale, pull your hands down past your tailbone. And from the chest, lead and hinge forwards. It'll take a while here. You can bend in one knee at a time. You can move your torso just to feel into the shoulders. I don't mind, but at some point, find stillness. And begin to deepen the breath, really widening the sitting bones. If you prefer this pose just with your arms down in front of you, then go ahead, that's fine. And then all of us can release the hands to the lower back. Slide them down the legs and out in front. With the right out underneath the shoulders with a long back. Walk your hands in between your feet or all the way through behind you, fingers pointing away. Taking the weight into the front of your feet as you take 3 more full breaths, the deepest breaths you've yet taken. Wonderful. And then from here, turning around to face the front of your mat, finding a very brief downward dog. And then dropping your knees. And we'll come to a brief seated twist. We're coming to the end of the practice now. So this is just a little bit of unwinding. So if you can, take your right foot underneath the left leg with the left foot placed over the top. The foot is placed on here on the floor. If you can't feel both sitting bones, release the right leg out again, just like we did for the Gomkasana. Use both hands to draw the left knee into the body as you look for length in the spine. Then wrap the right elbow around the knee. For those of you here today who have your own versions of this with binds and I don't know what, please go ahead. I'm just going to teach it holding the knee in with the elbow today. Lift up the left arm, inhale. And then find a little twist to the left hand behind you. So we've done a lot of twists. You should feel reasonably warm and at ease in this pose now. Drawing the shoulders back and down and softening and smiling in this twist. One more inhale. And then looking back to the center, exhale. For a moment, let's come back into Gomukhasana because we can. Remember, your right leg could be extended. You could stay as you are. You could come forwards, or maybe for one last time, eagle arms, right arm over the left. And take a couple of breaths here, just melting very much with the moment. Aware of the atmosphere in your room, outside your window. I've got loads of blackbirds nesting in my garden and I can hear them like crazy right now. One more breath in and then release. And we'll simply change that twist around so that the left foot comes under the right leg over the top. If you need to extend the left leg, please do, so that you feel both sitting bones. And then wrap the left elbow around the knee and hug everything in. You are trying to press the whole of the right foot down. You're not on the side of the foot. You're trying to press the whole foot down, and then breathe and lift up your right hand. And take a little twist to the right, finding your way. Wriggling around to find your own range of movement here. And breathe. One more breath in. And breathe out, look back to the front. Maybe come to your Gomukhasana or your half version with the left leg extended. Take a moment to settle. Really settling from the top of your head all the way down the body. And then open out wide if you want to come with me with eagle arms. This time it's left arm over the right. And wriggle around until you find a place to stay, just for a few breaths. Opening out all the senses, setting them free. One more breath in. And gently release. We're coming to the end, but I'd like to take a simple wide-angled forward fold, just because we've all been wrapped up in knots. If you can, bring yourself to sitting onto the edge of a cushion or a block and take your legs wide. With a tilt forwards with the pelvis. If this isn't going to happen for you, bend your knees. That's absolutely fine, because you want to be able to tilt forwards a little. If your legs are straight, pull your toes towards you and take a breath as you find as much length as you can, lifting up. And breathe out here, root down through the base of your body, the thigh bones, the sitting bones. Take another breath in and then come forwards as little or as much as you like. This is the last pose. Slow down the breath, particularly your exhalations. Allow them to fade away and follow that fading. Breathing space into the pelvis here. One more full breath in and a long breath out. And then what I'd like you to do is bring your knees in Take your feet about hip distance apart as you lean back in your hands and lift your chest. Maybe take your feet mat distance apart and have just a very gentle windshield wiper of the legs, just to rinse out any residual tension in the hips. You do this as fast or as slow as you like. Breathing till you're ready to come down into your Shavasana. Allow your legs to be quite wide apart, feet dropping out, arms away from the body, palms facing up. And now it's your time to simply drop into the whole sea of sensations of which you are a part. Just observing, just feeling, just absorbing completely. Don't miss anything. Be very, very intimate with every sensation, every emotion, everything that arises. Drop yourself right in there. And I would recommend that you stay here a while longer. I'm going to end the class thanking you so much for joining me. I hope you have a very lovely day now that you may feel energized and fresh. And tomorrow, when we have the day of solstice activities, I will be a bit more sociable and open out Zoom for people who want to chat and feel part of something. But for now, I'm sending you all a virtual hug. Thank you so much. Lots of love.